Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Unlock series. I'm your humble host of Fantasy Typhoon, aka The Mentalist. Make sure you subscribe to this channel, folks. Help me out, help the community out. This week, we're going to focus on Terry McLaurin, 6 feet, 210 pounds, born September 15, 1995. 24 years old, will start the season at 25. He was picked by, what do I call the team? He was picked by that team in our nation's capital. Round 3, pick 12. This week's Unlock will focus on no other than Terry McLaurin, a.k.a. Scary Terry. Let's go! All right, here we go. Scary Terry. When we evaluate these prospects coming into the National Football League, as fantasy analysts such as myself, we get a lot more information on them than we used to. And here's what I mean. We have the 40 time. We have the 10 to 20 yard short shuttle. We have the cone. We have the bench. We have the vertical. We have how much they can lift. We even have wingspan measurements. We have body fat. But the most important success indicator on earth that fantasy analysts, now the teams may have be privy to it, but fantasy analysts are privy to. And what's that, Typhoon? And I'm so glad you asked me what that number one trait is. And that trait is, how much does he love football? It's a mental snapshot inside that player's brain that tells us if this kid will give the necessary 100%, or will he just kind of like hang around, or will he just kind of fade in the background, or will he kind of just make money, and then just fade off into the sunset for the simple fact that he really doesn't love the game. Now, when you answer that question and that question alone, you have the upper hand. Now, recently, Terry posted on his Insta story just what we needed. He posted a letter, believe it or not, he posted a letter from his childhood days. I think he was about 10 years old or something like that. Don't quote me on that. And he wrote it to his future self, saying he wanted to be the best wide receiver in the NFL. Now, the surprising part is that he still has the letter, and he still uses it for motivation. Some folks say he kind of keeps that letter around and he keeps it in his locker. Now, that is the answer to the most important question. It's yes. Scary Terry McLaurin, loves the game. He wants to be the best. Okay, now we know that he loves football. Let's take a look at what he did last season. Now, I'll just quickly gloss over some stats right quick. And if you haven't noticed, I don't bring up stats when I'm talking about ballers. When I'm talking about guys like Marquise Hollywood Brown, when I'm talking about guys like DK Metcalf, the thing we need to know about those guys is what system they play in, and where the ball is going, and how much times they will get the ball. Because ballers do the rest. They do what they need to do and more to win you that fantasy game on Sunday. You could be down by 5. They could give you that touchdown catch for 40 yards. Now let's take a look at Week 4 against the Giants. Okay, I went. Case Keenum threw the ball 11 times that day. He went 6 targets, 4 catches for 39 yards against Xavier Rhodes. He did a lot more on the field than he did in the box score. 6 targets for 39 once again against the Bills. He was faced up against Tre'Davious White. He missed Week 17 with a concussion. That's okay. That's fine. We'll give him a mulligan for that. And I like that he stayed steady throughout the year. Defenses didn't pretty much figure him out, figure out his moves. And so here's what you can expect going forward according to Dynasty Sharks. Take a look at what they have projected for the 2020 season, which I think is very conservative. Terry is in a modified West Coast offense. He will be asked to be moved all around the field. He is the first read. And what that means, the first read usually has about 2 to 5 seconds on a 5 to 7 step drop to show the QB that he will be available for that target, or that target will go elsewhere. So he has to win on his routes very early is what I'm saying. He's first player off the board, fifth player off the board in the 6th round in the FFPC redrafts, which is great. Now here's in Dynasty. Now Terry is a tier below a baller, which means he's a good player. He's a solid player to have on your roster. He's kind of like a bye-week fill-in. They threw the kitchen sink at Amari Cooper. So what that's telling you is that they're going to spend a high-round draft pick on a wide receiver in 2021. So you have basically another year of evaluating Terry before it really matters to your dynasty teams. And what I mean is, if you have him, you can hold him. And if you don't rush out to the dynasty store and buy him. I mean, take a look at his depth chart. I mean, look at his depth chart. Look, I mean, I like Kevin Harmon as a buy low, and you know, I may do unlocked on him. Everything works in his favor right now. So what I'm saying is, he has one more year of that top dog performance before they bring in a baller. So hold for now in Dynasty, and let's talk about what to do with Terry in Dynasty next year at this same time. Let's just review it. I mean, let's take a look. He's in a new playbook, new coaches. It's kind of like his rookie year 1B, if you will. But in your redraft leagues, the price he's going, gobble him up, folks. Gobble him up. Scary Terry, unlocked. 2020 Fantasy Football Files from yours, the Fantasy Typhoon. Make sure you hit that little button over here and subscribe to the channel, folks. Help the community out. I really appreciate your support.
I want you to catch 200 balls a day and then come back to our next camp, and if you've improved in that department, we're going to give you a scholarship here to Ohio State. So he doesn't complain. He goes home, catches 200 balls a day, some days from his mother because he didn't have anybody else to throw him the ball to. Goes back to Ohio State a month later, catches everything. Urban Meyer issues him a scholarship, and that's the beginning of his career at Ohio State.
4.36. Wow.